Hi guys, I hope you're having a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing. I wanted to make a video telling you about my new track, which comes out on Wednesday, the 21st of May. The track is called We All Fall, and I'm releasing it with my techno project Maleficent. So in this video, I want to tell you about this track. I want to talk to you about the composition, how I wrote the track, but also I want to tell you the story behind the artwork. So in terms of the track's composition, this track, the approach I took to writing this track was very different to the approach I usually take. So when I sit down and start to write music, normally I have quite a clear idea as to what I want the track to be about, what I want the track to sound like, what I want the track to sort of embody and encompass, whether that be emotions, whether that be musical elements or techniques. I usually have quite a clear idea and vision, and I generally always write very intentionally. With this track, however, I approached it completely differently. This genre, the genre being techno, is a relatively new genre for me. I started my techno project Maleficent last year, 2024, and the reason why I started making music in this style was because I wanted to challenge myself. I love learning how to write different styles of music. I love learning different production techniques, and techno as a genre is extremely broad, and I really liked the idea of learning how to make music in different BPM ranges to what I usually write music within, and also just totally different styles. I wanted to learn new techniques and new approaches. So I have been learning how to make different styles, particularly of bass lines. So in techno there's a whole manner of ways in which you can write a bass line, and one in particular that I'm really interested in is the rumble bass. So I started an Ableton project. I'd been researching rumble bass, kick rumble, and I set out, the only intention I had was that I wanted to experiment with these techniques and write a track with this kind of kick and bass. So when I had actually come up with a kick and bass and a rumble that I really liked, it conjured a very specific type of atmosphere in my mind. That style of kick and bass and sub bass, it does create a very industrial feel. So really that was my starting point. So I had this quite industrial, atmospheric floor or ground to the track, and then I started to add textures over that. So the track features a lot of airy vocal scapes, airy vocal pads. If you're familiar with any of my music, you probably have picked up on the fact that I love female vocals in my music. So I added those kinds of textures and atmospheres over this very industrial, quite spacious kick and bass. And then organically this melody just came to me. And yeah, I really liked this combination of the industrial floor of the track with the airy vocals sort of floating on top of that, and then this very I don't even know how really to describe the melody. It's kind of spooky in a way, but the combination of those elements, floor of the track, the vocal textures and the melodies created almost an angelic image in my mind, but it was also dark. So yeah, that's the story behind how this track came to be. I didn't set out knowing that I wanted to write this specific kind of track. It was born out of pure curiosity in relation to wanting to learn new techniques, but also it was born out of experimentation. So when the track was still being created, it kind of took on its own life form and began to tell its own story. The track naturally has quite a lot of momentum, and I think the spooky melodies really help enhance that kind of driving momentum. And once I had listened to it, when I thought it was finished, I did add some spoken vocal samples too. It just reminded me of a photograph that I took when I was 18 years old, and that photograph is the artwork for this single, and the artwork depicts a crying angel statue. So this photograph was taken in 2007. I was 18 years old. It's taken in a cemetery near where I live. That crying angel statue is one of my favourite things. I love the fact that I live in a place that has one of these beautiful pieces of stonework in a cemetery. And yeah, and I just thought it really fit with the sound of the track, the theme of the track. So that is the story behind We All Fall. It comes out, as I said, on Wednesday the 21st of March. It will be available on all major music platforms for you to download or to stream, whichever you prefer. And I really hope that you enjoy it. I'm really loving experimenting at the moment with the music that I'm writing, learning about different styles, different techniques, being completely open-minded, and yeah, thanks for following me on my musical journey. I hope you enjoy We All Fall, which comes out on Wednesday the 21st of May. Take care.